Okay, so let me hit to new, then we start new. First thing, I want to talk about pattern. The term is pattern. We have linear pattern and circular pattern. So if we say something is being patterned, it means that, for example, the first of an object, and you want to draw that object multiple times. Let's say a bottle, or let's say a hole. You want to draw the hole multiple times. So you want to draw it 5 times. Doesn't mean that you are going to draw it first drawing, second drawing, third drawing. Then what? Then if it becomes 2015. So SolidWorks has this feature that enables you to pattern your drawing per the number of parts you want it to be. So let's do something so that we see how it works or how it looks like. So first one, let me select front plane. I'm drawing in centimeters. Then let me draw something rectangular. Let me dimension this 15. Let me dimension this 10 centimeters. Good. Then let me extrude to a depth of 20. 20 is too large. Let me make it 15. 10 rather. 10 is okay. So now this is the figure I'm getting. So now let's select the surface and sketch on the surface. So you click on the surface, then the pop-up that comes, you select sketch. So it gives you the ability to draw on the surface of the rectangle. So this is what we are going to do. First, let me select the drop down menu bar from the line, then select center line. Center line gives you the ability to draw short dashes line or constructional line. So let me draw this one. Escape. Then let me select circle. I select circle, then I click this center, then drag. Good. Then smart dimension. Let me smart dimension this as, for example, let me make it 4. No, let me make it 7. Enter. So what I did was I drew a rectangle, then I selected the surface of the rectangle, then I drew a circle. Good. So if I should select this rectangle, it gives me the ability to select what I want to do with it. So I want to make it for construction, so I'll use it for a constructional line, then I tick OK. Good. Now let me exit from the drawing. So exit from the drawing, but this sketch is still there. Now let me select that same surface again, then select sketch on that same surface again. Let me draw a circle, but this time around a small circle. Then smart dimension it. A dimension from this side to this edge. It's a very simple thing. So let's follow 3.5. I make this side 3.5. Then at the same time I zoom in. I select the center. Then I select the edge, this edge. Let me make it 3. Then let me smart dimension the circle itself. The circle itself is, let's see, let me make it 1. Good. So assuming this is my circle. Now I want to make this circle multiple times on this surface. I can come to pattern. So under pattern, when I click on the drop down, we have circular pattern. So I can select circular pattern. The first thing that it does is that it asks for the direction in which you want your circle to move. So let me select this. Okay, so I've selected this. Then the next thing is, what entity, what do you want it to be, circular or to be pattern? So I come down here, then entity, then I select this. Good. You could see that it is not showing clearly. Good. So I select the arc again, then this is what happens. Now the circle has become multiple. It's 4 here. So I can choose to increase the number of circles I want. So I can make it 10. This is the function which gives you the ability to make multiples of a particular thing. So this is the circular pattern. So if I'm okay, if I like this, then I accept it. Okay. So now I get what? 10 of the circles. Then I can go further to probably add an extruded cut. So I now want to create a cut inside it. So I can make it blind, then I can drag it to the depth I want. Basically I want it to come out, so accept. Okay, good. So now I get a rectangle with circular holes inside it. Assuming, let me select this surface and sketch. Okay, then I draw one circle here. Let me dimension this circle. Smart dimension. Let me dimension it as 1, just like the other side. Then now let me smart dimension it to this edge. Let me make it 1 also. Then from here to here, let me also make it 1. So now it becomes fully defined. Then we have this same pattern. Now if I don't want it to be in a circular form, I want it to be in a straight line, I can come to linear pattern. Okay, linear pattern, then ask me which axis do I want to put I can select this axis. Okay, then now it asks you which entity do you want it to be pattern. I can select this entity. So this is the circle. Then so it's now 2 here. Do I want 2? I want, let's see, 7. If I want 7, you see 7 circles have been created. Now there's this ability that gives you to put a certain distance. So there's it. The distance is 1 centimeter. Assuming I want to make it each separated from each other by 2 centimeters, I can create 2 centimeters. So there's a 2 centimeter separation from each. Okay, there's a 2 centimeter separation from each. Then if I'm okay, I accept it. Then I come to what I want to do with this. If it's an extruded boss, I can create extruded boss. Okay, let me make this 5. So now I get an extruded boss on this. So this is how the linear pattern works. It can also be that probably when you were in the sketch you forgot to do the linear pattern. So let me show another example. So sketch here again. Let me draw a circle, picking this relation from here. So let me draw the circle here. Just like how I dimension this one. 1. from here to the edge and make it 1. Good. Then from here to the top, let me make it 3.5. So just watch this. Assuming I didn't come to linear pattern over here, then I went to feature, then I did extrude. You see that it has extruded. But now I want to create multiple of this. In the feature tab, there's also another pattern over here, which is this side. See, so this one is a more detailed pattern. We have linear pattern, we have circular pattern, we have mirror, we have curve driven pattern. It even gives you the ability to even put variables. For example, if the pattern is not linear, it's not circular, but it is more of displaced, you can even import Excel data of where you want the position of each circle. This is the power of SolidWorks. So assuming I want linear, I select linear from here, then I move, then select the direction I want it to go. So now it is this body that I've selected. I want to pattern. No, let me clear this. The direction, I want it in this direction. Good. I don't want a second direction. Then it asks what feature do I want to pattern. I want to pattern this feature. Good. So you could see that it has created a preview of it. Now the first option here is the spacing. What spacing do I want to make it? Let me make it 2. Then the second option is how many do I want it? I want multiple of this thing is supposed to show. I want multiple of, let me make it 7. Okay, I want multiple of 7. It's supposed to show unable to create this feature because it will result in 0 thickness. So this time it's giving me an error. So I can, if you take, sometimes when this option comes, you have to maneuver your way around it. You have geometry pattern. So let me select geometry pattern, meaning it is creating the pattern around this geometry. Let me accept it and see. Geometry pattern fails. Okay. So what I can actually do is I can move out from feature and faces, then come to body. Okay. Then I select this. More clear. Wait. Let's go back. Let's edit this. Edit feature. You see, we've merged this result. So what's happening is SolidWorks is seeing that this whole thing is one body. So I can untick here. If I untick now, it becomes a separate bodies. Good. Then after, let me select this. Then let me come to linear pattern. So immediately I come to linear pattern, it automatically picks this as a separate body. Then I select this direction. Then it asks me for all the spacing. Let me make it 2. Then the number of sequence, I want 7. Good. And it comes up. So you see I've gotten the same thing. I can choose to pattern this whole thing again to get another set on this surface. This whole thing. Do you get me? So this is how pattern works. Assuming I've done this, now I don't want to pattern, but I want to replicate all these things on this same surface at the other side. For example, you have drawn let's say you've drawn half of an object, and the other half is just the same thing. So what you can do is, you don't have to draw the full thing, but you draw half, then you replicate the same half on the other side. For example, let me show you something. If you look through this, you can see that the top plane is the middle of this box. So let me click on mirror. Okay, now let me come to faces to mirror. Let me select this linear pattern that I did. Okay, let me select this one too. So now I want to mirror, I want to copy, or I want to make an exact image of this on the other side. So what I'll do is, the first I'll select mirror. The first thing that will come is that mirror will ask you want to replicate this about what point or on what reference plane. So the reference plane I want to use is the top plane, which is directly in the middle of this box. Then if you have a secondary plane, that is another point with respect to the first one, you can select it, but for this you are selecting only the top plane. Then the next side is the feature to mirror. What feature have you used, or what drawing or what object do you want to mirror, do you want to replicate? So then I select the linear pattern I did, which is, let me clear this whole selection. The linear pattern I did, which is this one. See, it has shown orange here, showing me that this is what I've selected. Good. Then the second one is this. The second one is the boss extrude. The boss extrude is the single this. So if I select boss extrude, it is also selected. Then the last one is all of the pulls here. Good. Then it is selected. Then once it is selected, then if I'm okay with this, I click on accept. Good. So now you see that now this thing has been replicated at the top. Now this thing has been replicated at the top. So this is mirror. So this is the mirror. It's just like you are looking at your face in the mirror. What do you see? You see yourself. So now you are the object, the mirror is the plane, then the image is what you want to replicate. So now you select mirror. When you select mirror, it will ask you, where is the object? The object is you. So the object is what I want to select. Then the plane that it would have to work on it will be the mirror or the surface. Then what will be shown will be the image. Okay, so this is how the mirror works in SolidWorks. So now let me talk about fillet. Yesterday we talked about it, but let me hit on it again. Fillet gives you the ability to rounding the edges. So for example, this, I can select fillet here, then you can see that this edge has been curved out. It has given me more beauty to it. So if I accept it, you see that the edge has changed, unlike how these edges look like. Okay, if I should select fillet again from the feature tab, then I should select this side. See that this side, the whole thing has been selected. It has a pattern select also inside. Assuming I only want one side, so let me clear this edge. Now let me select this. Good. I don't want that, so let me take it out. Clear it. I can accept it. Accept. Good. Let me select fillet again. It's selecting the whole surface. This is how sometimes SolidWorks it does. Assuming you want one thing, the reason why it's selecting the whole surface is it has been programmed that once you select this surface, the pattern automatically picks a certain rhythm. It knows that once you've done the surface, it might be that automatically you want to create the other side. So it just picks it for you. You can also choose to reduce the thickness of this fillet. I can decrease it to 0.5. You see it reduces. I can further increase it. The more you increase it, when it gets to a point, it begins to destroy the drawing you've made. So let's look at something like this. Let me accept it and let's see what happens. You see now the whole thing has changed. This whole thing has changed. Look at how it has made it. At first the thing was rectangular. What happened, or why it didn't affect this, is that it is a separate body, so it's only applying the fillet to the shape or the rectangle I created. But since I didn't merge the pipes together with the rectangle, it has been able to fillet those things without affecting the others. So this is how the fillet looks like. So if you want to round in your edges, you use fillet. And there's another one which is the chamfer. The chamfer also is like a fillet, but this time around it doesn't give you that rounded, but it's flattened. So we have an angle and a distance. You have a distance and a distance. You have offset face, then we have face to face. So let me talk about the angle and the distance. So with the angle and the distance, you get the opportunity to choose the distance and the angle you want to use. The distance and the angle you want to use. So I'm assuming I'm using 1 centimeter, 45 degrees. Let me accept it and let's see what happens. Good. You can see that this one is not circular, but this one is at an angle. Okay, on the surface it's not circular like how this looked like, this surface looked like, but it has flattened the surface, so like a cut. Okay, so this is how the fillet and the chamfer looks like. Remember, the chamfer is always under the fillet tab. Now let me move to shell. Let me take an example. Oh, you see how the fillet worked on this. Let me start something new and let me file new. Okay, so let's see. Let me choose the top plane. Let me draw a bottle. So I want to draw a bottle. So first I select line, I click, I drag to the edge. This, good. Escape. Then I smart dimension this as, let me make it 3. Good. Then I select spline, I click, I draw my first line, I curve it out, I draw my second line, bring it out, draw my last line, then I press escape. So I get this shape. Then I click on line again. Make sure it's on this point. Then I drag to the last point. Good. Now let me smart dimension this. So let me give it a height of 7. Dimensioning a spline is very difficult, so I just make it 8. Good. I just make it 8. Then select. Let me drag this a bit to the edge. Let me distort this a bit. Good. Then let me select revolve. So revolve, I want it to revolve about this axis. Okay. Let me accept it. It kind of looks like a bottle, but it's not a bottle. Let me edit the sketch a bit. Let me pull this in a bit. Means I should get my outline really well. So okay, you let me go straight to the point. So let's assume this is a jack. Let's assume this is a jack. Now you can see that there's no hole inside this. There's no hole inside this. What you can do with shell is that once you select shell, once I select shell, the first thing that it gives me is what surface do I want to remove. So I want to remove this surface. Then the next thing it asks me is, let me show preview. So what shell does is that it removes the interior of an object. It creates a hole inside. So the word is hollow. It makes something hollow by you selecting which surface to remove. So it asks me what thickness do I want to create. So let me make the thickness 0.3. So this is how it will look like. So let me accept it so that we all see it. So this thickness is greater than the minimum of okay. So this is the thickness it has created. We have what we call section view. So let me section this so that we can see inside. So what I did was, if you want to see inside of this, you click section view, which is here. Once you click section view, it creates a plane. It asks you which plane do you want to cut or make a section so that you see the inside of this. So you just select, if it's front plane, you can select front plane, or if you don't want to select any plane, you just drag this arrow and this, then automatically creates the section for you. So you could see that by the help of shell, I was able to create this or make this hole inside without me having to suffer by drawing as JPEG. Let me show you how you guys can save it. Once you are done with what you want to do, you can position it like this by using your scroll button on your mouse. You click on the scroll button, then it gives you the ability to orient your camera. Then you go to file, save as, then you can save it as JPEG. Okay, so let me, so JPEG is here. So once I select JPEG, it saves it as an image. So let me select JPEG here, save it here. Now the next thing, guys, it's not difficult, okay? It's not difficult. You just practice it. Your willingness to join this webinar means you want to learn. So just practice it. You do it again, you get it wrong. You do it again, you get it wrong. Then you become good at it. So let me talk about rip. So rip basically is let me come to file, new. Let me see, I'm drawing in right plane. Let me line here. Let me draw an L. let me smart dimension this 10. Let me make this 10 centimeter. Let me make this and this 1. Let me make this and this 1. Let me make this side. No, I've already done that. Okay, let me make this side to this side. Let me make it 8.5. Accept it. Good. Now let me accept it here. Then let me go to extrude. In extrude, I would select this drop down menu, then I'll select mid plane. Mid plane means you want to extrude, but I want it to be in the middle. So let me increase it and see how it be. You see, it's increasing on both sides. Good. So let me make it 10. Accept. Good. So now I've created something, an L. Good. So if I should select right plane, there's that same plane, then I'll click on sketch. So now it has selected the sketch for me. If I click on line, then I click from this edge to this edge. Good. Escape. Then accept. So now what rep does is that if I should select rep gives me the ability to draw something that will hit this surface, to draw a bar that will hit this surface without me having to go through the difficulty of having to do a whole lot of stuffs. So let me show you how it works. So I'm coming. Good, let me accept it. Good. You see, once I selected rep, it has created this angle bar for me directly onto this surface. So this is how the rep looks like. So basically just create this bar or this angle bar for you. So this is how rep does. Okay, so this is rep. It's not anything difficult. Now let me move on to so far we've done shell, we've done rep, we've done linear pattern, we've done fillet. We are left with intersect. Basically just like how the name suggests, you are intersecting two things together, so you are bringing it together. So I started some drawing. Let me go back. Okay, good. So let me throw back on my design tree. So what I first did was, let me edit sketch. So I drew this shape. Okay, like how I did the first vessel I did. Then I came to revolve. So I revolved this. So once I revolved it using this as the axis, let me accept. So when I revolved it, I got this. Then I moved further again. I did a shell from here. So if I should edit it, you can see that this was a shell I did of thickness 0.2. Then I accepted it, then I got this shape. Then I created a plane. Okay, so this is how you create a plane. Basically, the first thing is you come to this side, reference, and you select plane. Then it asks you what's your first reference. Then my first reference that I made it was top plane. Once I selected the top plane, then it asks you what is the distance. I can choose to make it 9, 10, any distance you want it to be from with respect to the top plane, that is this one at the bottom. Okay, but I've already done it. So once you accept it, you get this plane. Then I drew this extruded line. So let me show you. Let me edit this. So what I did was I used spline, okay, to draw this, like how I did before, the same thing as the vessel. I drew the same thing here. Then I selected extrude. So let me accept this. Let me edit this, extrude. So with the help of extrude, I was able to extrude this line using a thickness of a thin feature thickness of 0.1. So when I extruded it, then it came as this. So you could see that this thing was just created, it is not together. Assuming I want to merge this vessel and this plane or this drawing, what I'll do is I'll come to insert. When I come to insert, it's first I've selected this, then I can select the vessel, okay, then I'll click on create intersecting region, then I'll select intersect. So what it does is, which part do I want to keep? So once I click here, it automatically takes that brown side off. So let me click on accept. Good. You see that now this and this has become one. I can choose to edit it, edit feature. Let me uncheck this. Okay, so you can play around this. You can play around the feature you want to keep. So let me accept this and let's see something. Now it has in fact taken this whole thing away. Let me edit it again. Edit. Let me come to coplanar openings and intersect. So let me select this. Okay. Good. So now it has taken that plane off. So now it has made this whole thing separate. I want to show something. Edit. Now let me come to create both. Intersect. Good. So what happens is, if a particular drawing will be lost, it shows you with a color. So just like how the previous one came, you see this one will be lost, so it's now giving me the color brown, means that it will go away. Okay, if I select the plane again, this plane will go away, so now it will be left with this. So if I accept it, it's now left with only one, which is this. So this is how the intersect does. You can intersect to merge objects together, and you can intersect to take objects away. So this is how it is. Assuming I give you only this thing to draw, I tell you, you would find it very difficult, because it is now not only one thing but sequence of other stuffs have merged together to get this. So it will be very, very difficult. You get it? So this is how the intersect works. This is how the intersect works. This is how the intersect works. Let's take note of it. Now the last one, which is the wrap. Good. This is a shaft with a hole inside, or should I say a cap. let me roll it back and see how I do this. Let me edit a sketch. So this is what I drew. I drew this L, just like how we did the previous L for the rib. Then I came to revolve. So I selected revolve, then I revolved it about this axis, that is this edge. Okay, so once I revolved it, I got this. Okay, then you create a plane. So in the previous video I said when you want to create a plane, you come to reference plane. So I selected reference, then I came to plane. Then on the drop down menu it asks you of what's your first reference. So I selected front plane as my first reference. Then the second reference I selected the surface. So you see that automatically it makes this surface tangent, it creates a plane tangent to the edge of this surface. Okay, then I'll accept it. Okay, because I've already done that, this is how the plane came. So the same thing, this is how the plane came about. Then what wrap does is that wrap gives you the ability to draw, to inscribe something, either to give an extrusion on this surface or an extruded cut. So the plane I created, I selected the plane, then I sketched. So I sketched on the plane. Then on the sketch that I did, let me show you the sketch I did. I did sketch. Okay, so I just drew this on the surface. I just draw something rough on the surface. Then I accepted it. Then I come to wrap, which is here, wrap. Okay, so what the wrap does is that, let me edit this feature. The wrap draws this. It's not like draws, it's embed the shape I did, this shape, on this surface. Okay, it embeds this drawing on this surface. If you try to only probably select this surface, then you see once you select this surface, you don't get sketch. You can't sketch on a round surface. It will not give you the ability. It is only the wrap that gives you the chance to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do in subsequent videos is that I will take, for example, extrude. Then we'll go through extrusion. What extrusion has, how does it work? Then the second one, I'll go to revolve, swept, all this menu again, but it will not be long, but it will be short, so that once you go through the online tutorials, then you begin to practice these ones, you have a good understanding of them. Yeah, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. A good understanding of them. One thing about SolidWorks is, just like how I said, the more you do it, the more you become good at it. So you watch what is being done, then you replicate it. You watch what is being done,